And you're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It is Wales versus Scotland, and yeah, what a game we have ahead of us, and it's said to be an absolute cracker. And very excited to see what happens here because we had Scotland, who I thought played very well last week. Obviously to beat England, but I think more importantly, they beat them away. Now they've got a Wales side who are full of confidence. At the end of the day, they got absolutely hammered by Ireland last week, and not maybe too many positives there, but a couple of changes, and Warren Gatland will be expected to be able to turn things around pretty quickly. Because they have to be, that's the whole point. You make a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to get him in, if that's fair to say, and they're going to expect the Welsh players to really stand up. But a lot of young faces in this Welsh side, a lot of faith being shown to some very new characters and new players who I think are going to be around for a long time. We are in Murrayfield, first game there, this Six Nations. We've got a poll running in the comments saying, who do you think will win? Scotland currently leading that poll as well, so go and cast your vote. And let me know what you think is going to happen in the game itself. And yeah, I think it's going to be I think it's a difficult one to call because obviously, as I said, from a favourite's perspective, you're kind of expecting Scotland to do it after what we saw last week. However, this Welsh side needs a response, and I don't think this Welsh side are. You can't help but feel that they're a side that will be able to adapt and be able to come good pretty quickly. I don't think they're a side which we just throw away and we say, right, well, new coach, players aren't there, they just can't compete. I think we saw from them last year that there is a lot of quality in this Welsh setup, and I think also from a Scottish perspective, Scotland have always tended to be a side which are quite mercurial in the way that they play. They can be. Will beat us potentially. They can really pitch up, but they can also really struggle sometimes and not be able to put in consistent performances. I think consistency has long been their biggest challenge. And if they can sort that out, then I think they become a very exciting team to watch. So let's see if we can add a bit of consistency from them and whether they will be able to hit the ground running in the Six Nations. Maybe put a bit of a mini charge in, win a couple of games, and all of a sudden you can sit there saying, right, well, maybe there's actually a chance here. But what do you think? You're going to go and vote in the comments below and let me know what you guys think. What I would do to go and watch Flower Scotland at Murrayfield. Just absolutely epic. One day it'll happen. We're gonna keep grafting with this, with all this, and one day we will get to go over and we'll watch it all live. Let's go to the team, shall we? Just getting a few things sorted. And then we can go through the lineups as well. As I said, please do keep voting in the polls. But in terms of the lineups for today, big news for Scotland is that Xander Ferguson is back in that front row. He partners George Turner and Pierre Schoeman. Richie Gray, Grant Gilchrist, the lock pairing there. Jamie Ritchie will captain the side next to Luke Crosby and Matt Ferguson, who's becoming a very bright and exciting number 8. Ben White will partner Finn Russell in what's quite an exciting halfback pairing. Duan van der Merwe on the back of his wonder try last weekend. Does start in the number 11 jersey. Carl Stan on the other side, 2 South African-born wings, doing the business for Scotland. And in the midfield, Suna Topolotto and Hugh Jones, or Hupolotto, as a lot of people are calling them, which is, I quite like that, actually. I think it's quite a cool nickname. And then obviously Stuart Hogg, Mr. Passion himself, in the number 15 jersey. Off the bench for Scotland will be Fraser Brown, Jamie Batty, and Pierre Null in the front row. Johnny Gray, Jack Dempsey, then George Hall, Blair Kinghorn, and Chris Harris coming off the bench. Nice to have the likes of a Kinghorn and a Harris, a lot of experience coming in. For the Welsh, Wyn Jones, Ken Owens, Dylan Lewis. Ken Owens captaining the side. We've then got Daft Jenkins and Adam Beard. So, what a moment it is for Daft Jenkins to be starting. He's He's 20 years old. Turns 21 this year. Has played twice already for Wales, so it's not on debut or anything, but what a backing that he is getting at the moment, and a lot of young, very exciting players as well. The likes of Christ Junza, who is also, just 20 years old and 21 years old, rather. He's just turned 21. And very exciting player, very big physical presence. He's next to Tommy Reffel, or Tommy Turnover, as he was known last year, for his performance against South Africa, and Jack Morgan in the number 8 jersey. So very much a pack and a loose trio for the future. When you think that entire loose trio is, I think all under the age of 23. And then Daf Jenkins at 20 years old. So very excited to see what they can do. Thomas Williams, partners, Dan Bigger. Then you got Rio Dyer, Josh Adams, Liam Williams to back three. Joe Hawkins in the midfield with George North. Off the bench, it is Scott Baldwin, Reese Kerr, Leon Brown, Reese Davies, Tapa Fatal, Reese Webb, Reese Patchell, and Alex Cuthbert. So plenty of experience on the bench if things were to go a little bit wrong. And so keep voting on the poll. Let's see what you guys have to say and who you guys are really backing. We've got a tribute to Dottie James there, and what a bit of a Dottie James. Obviously passed away last year on the 26th of November during the sort of autumn nations, and Andrew Brace will be our referee today. We are at Murrayfield. Not the prettiest stadium from the outside, but what an atmosphere it often brings and provides. And hopefully this game will be as exciting as last week's game when we did see Scotland take apart England in Twickenham. And we will have a kick-off very shortly. Scotland playing right to left in obviously their home navy kit, whilst Wales will be in their bright red and playing left to right and will receive kick-off. Any score predictions, put them in the comments below. Let me know what you think. A big shout out to Bet Cozy who are powering the stream, by the way. Also, if you're looking to watch the game, check out the description and you can get yourself Experience VPN and you can watch the game live and in HD on on BBC Sport, which is pretty fantastic, if you ask me. And a good receive there from Wales, and the action is underway. And Thomas Williams just taking a while, a couple of phases here before he can find an angle to try and find his clearance kick. And he sends Adam Beard away, and he won't be able to find touches outside 22. A lot of good chases here. And it is Stuart Hogg under the high ball there. Good take from him, getting away from a couple of players as well. Very nice start there from Stuart Hogg as he gets back into Welsh territory. Quick ball here for White. He cannot carry there for Luke Crosby. Now White to Finn Russell, going to Tupelotu. To Carl Steyn, who's hit hard in the tackle there by Rio Dyer. Little deft touch there coming from Matt Ferguson. Nice intensity so far early on from Scotland. Nice flat to Piers Skuman there from Finn Russell. Once again, Finn Russell looking for a couple of options. It leaves it very late to Jamie Ritchie, who's lost the ball forward. It'll be turnover ball here. That's a pretty horrendous pass, and eventually it falls to Jack Morgan. And Thomas Williams going to the right-hand side, goes to Beard. A couple of players here, not too much on, so happy to come back on the angle is Wyn Jones. Now, Bigger, first touch of the game, goes himself, brought down by Matt Ferguson. Ball pops up. Thomas Williams, not too many options. Trying to find an option, puts the ball over the top to Ken Ovens, captain at 36 years old. Daf Jenkins, the 20-year-old, his first touch today. And under a lot of pressure there, I think it is Wyn Jones, and will eventually fall back to Thomas Williams, who goes to Adam Beard. Nice intensity being shown here on the defence from Scotland. Now, Bigger, not too much on, so he lifts us high in the air. And Finn Russell happy to just mark it. And then final touch there is Finn Russell. Right, Crash Junza, 21-year-old. He's going up to receive the line, but skew is the call, so Ken Owens will not be happy with that. The captain of Wales needs to be leading from the front. They can't afford any skew lineouts. And yeah, that's it. If you're looking to watch the game, go and check the description. You can watch this game on BBC Sport live. You can watch tomorrow's game on ITV. You could have watched Ireland versus France earlier as well. So yeah, there's no excuse not to watch the game. It's so easy. It is so easy. We're trying to make it easier than ever for you to do it. So go and check the description and go and get yourself sorted with ExpressVPN, and you can watch all these games for Frizos. Right, I'm going to have a reset here at the scrum. Interesting to see what the scrum battle is going to be like here today. And we've got 29 votes. You have to sort of 50 votes, stuff like that. We can start closing the poll, see what everybody's backing. Hello, Ethan. Hope you're well, Chief. And a free kick there to Wales. And he's lifted high in the air, and it's come a bit loose there. Crash Junza was looking to jump on it, and it's been knocked on from Wales, so it'll be a Scotland scrum. Yeah, he's probably and all damn big. It's just put that hoof that high in the air and try to make it as difficult as possible to get underneath it. And it has almost worked. Good to see Xander Ferguson up against Wyn Jones. Type of clash we really like to see. Right, and Ben White going down the short side. Finn Russell there trying to go to the grubber. Oh, a bit of techers there almost coming from Thomas Williams. Did take came off a Welsh boot, so it will be a Scottish line-out, or first Scottish line-out for the day. And they'll be hoping it'll go better than Wales' first line-out of the day, which was skew, so they had to end up. That's how we ended up with that first scrum. Much better there from Scotland. And it's looking pretty good from a running more perspective as well. George Turner controlling things at the back, and they're getting quite a bit of a run going here, Scotland. Eventually goes down. Ben White to Tupolatu. Oh, short ball. That's a brilliant ball to Hugh Jones. He needs support. Who's coming? Can anybody catch him? He's still going. He's eventually brought down by Liam Williams, up by the 22. There's a lot of Scottish players there. Ben White going to Ben Russell. Ben Russell's hammered it towards the right-hand side. Is it going to be too far? It's going to be perfect. Inside ball to Jamie Ritchie. To Matt Ferguson. I mean, this is champagne rugby at its finest. Scotland on the doorstep here. Penalty advantage as well. Ben White going to Finn Russell, the architect of that kick. Not too much on. Long pass out wide to Hugh Jones. In fact, it goes to Stuart Hogg. Stuart Hogg inside. Liam Williams trying to get over that ball, slow things down. He has turned it over, but he legally will go back for the penalty. What a passage of play from Scotland. Short from the short ball. Bang! Hugh Jones straight through. What a ball this is from Tupolatu. Looking at Finn Russell all the time. And Hugh Jones is tearing off. And unfortunately for him, no Scottish players can keep up with him, really. Gets himself an isolated, and then Finn Russell bangs across, kick down the right hand side. Perfect. Great tackle coming from Hawkins to make on Ritchie, and then getting back to Matt Ferguson. And high tackle there coming from Crash Junza. And decision time, for Scotland. It's pretty kickable for Finn Russell, but maybe they'll be a bit more aggressive here and try and go for the for the try. Right, here we go. Finn Russell is going to land up. It's actually right in front of the poles. So it must have been another penalty advantage as well. So this should be a pretty easy, straightforward 3 points here for Scotland to get their match underway. As Finn Russell just pops that straight over. Murrayfield applauds. And Scotland go 3-0 up. Good start from the home side. Very exciting there. And I'm really enjoying the Tuipulotu Hugh Jones combination. I think there's a lot to be said about picking combinations of players. Are they the two best centres for Scotland? Who knows? I think Chris Harris is a really world-class centre. But at the end of the day, you're not picking two players who play their rugby week in with each other. They've got that understanding. They've got that sort of connection. And we really saw it there. And it's produced a chance that's gotten Scotland 3 points. Pierre Schoeman battling hard to find a couple of meters there off the kickoff there. It is available for Ben White. Taking a while here is Ben White. Oh, he's dropped it as well. He's fumbled it backwards. So I had a bit of pressure there. It's a pretty poor mistake from the scrum off, but no real harm done as the ball they do manage to retain it. Right, take 2 years from Ben White. And going for some distance. It's a very good kick, actually. Liam Williams taking it right up against touchline. Liam Williams drifting inside. And he's brought down by Crosby. Scotland playing with the names on the back of their shirts. Which I quite like, actually. Richie lurking, trying to look for that jackal. And George North working hard there. Trying to place the ball in the Scottish players, trying to win a penalty. Referee having nothing out of it. Rio Dyer going inside, outside. Eventually brought down Thomas Williams, quick ball. Dan Bigger now going short to Wyn Jones, who goes to the direct route, runs to Xander Ferguson. Sorry, I lied. It's Grant Gilchrist. Stepping inside there was Ken Owens. Quick ball once again. A couple of phases here now for Wales. Hawkins now back from Thomas Williams. Jack Morgan going nice and low. Strong direct drive, but Pierre Schoeman has actually ripped that in the tackle. And now Ben White's got a bit of space. Ben White's almost through looking, and it's knocked down from George North. It'll go out into touch. Important intervention, because I think if that had managed to find Joe van der Merwe, it could have been a bit awkward. They're taking it quickly out of Scotland, but they've been told they cannot do that, so they're going to have to go back and take it again. Nice tempo to the game, though. I'm enjoying it. Good work there by Pierre Schoeman to rip that ball. Right, long over the top there. Good take as well. Good lineup from Scotland. Finn Russell going short. Inside ball from Richie to Tuipulotu. Oh, that's been stolen by Jack Morgan. Good hands here as well from Wales on the counter attack. George North eventually put his head down as the ball eventually brought down by Crosby. Now kicking behind, Stuart Hogg taking his time, letting it come to him. Brings up that torpedo, which is sailing down the left-hand side. Pops up to Thomas Williams, who will return the favour. Now Finn Russell. What's he going to do? He's got a bit of time to assess his options. Sees a bit of space down the right-hand side. In fact, it's pretty central. And Bigger there pops to Liam Williams. No Lee Halfpenny, whose injury woes continue. And Liam Williams will chase his own kick. He's so good in the air as Liam Williams, but the ball comes loose to Hogg. Hogg turns well, and Liam cuts his legs out from underneath him. And Scotland do retain possession on the 10-metre line inside their own half on the left-hand side. Good hands there. Pierre Schoeman gets his first real sort of chance to open his legs up a bit. Now Finn Russell on the turn has hacked that right down the right-hand side. I tell you what, a decent bounce could be interesting, but Rio Dyer does well to get back. Oh, that's a horrible moment. Dan Bigger's completely missed that. Bring out a bit of pressure. Yo, and he's just absolutely given it to Rio Dyer for that pass. Goodness me. Yeah, it's a pretty terrible pass. Yeah, and Tambik has absolutely lambasted him. That poor youngster is not going to be happy having that treatment there. Now Stuart Hogg's gone off. I think it's a bit of blood. So I think we will see Stuart Hogg again, which means that interesting to see what they do here. So Blair King will, I'm sure, will come on and take his place at full back. Yeah, I'll get a couple of stitches there with Stuart Hogg, and we'll see him later, I'm sure. Another good line turner now, linking up. Oh, it's a great take from Ben White. Wasn't the best pass. He's got a bit of pressure here. And a penalty here for Scotland as well. This should be 6-0. Yeah, not a particularly good start here from Wales. They'll need to try and improve quite quickly because Scotland have started pretty well, and this should already be 6-0 in the early stages here. And yeah, I mean, Wales are not really holding on to the ball much either. So a bit struggling, but still early days. Ethan, I'll probably be in the media section tomorrow. I actually haven't decided yet what we're going to do. All right, and Finn Russell turns immediately, and the doubles the lead, 6 points to 0 after 15 minutes, and a good start so far from the home side, much to the joy of the home fans who have come out and are expecting to see potentially back-to-back wins from their side at the start of the Six Nations. Now Dan Biggar going pretty deep there. Ferguson underneath it. Really enjoying what I'm seeing out of Matt Ferguson. Pierre Skuma. My kick behind is marshaled by Liam Williams. Dan Biggar goes to Rio Dyer. Rio Dyer sees a bit of space. Plenty of space as Rio Dyer. Needs to scrum off. Thomas Williams eventually comes up from the bottom of the ruck. Pops it to Dan Biggar. Biggar just passes it along to Daft Jenkins. He manages to get his knees down to the ground. Got the ball, a bit of a juggle there from Adam Beard, and Wyn Jones takes down off the. And that's just poor from Turner. And that's fine, apparently. He just hammered the arms and lost it. That's a pretty poor pass. It's a bit scrappy at the moment. Now it's all the slowed down as Ben White will go to Xander Ferguson. No, or you go to the box kick. Yeah, we'll go to Xander Ferguson. Good to see him back. Low tackle coming from Daft Jenkins. Kenoa trying to make a nuisance of himself at the ruck. And Ben White's just going to roll this all the way back. Not going to find touch though, so doing fundamental chasing hard. Liam Williams is assessing his options, goes inside to Josh Adams. First touch of his game so far. Tubalatu making the tackle there with Gilchrist. Now a bit of space for Hawkins. Rio Dyer finds himself on the right wing. Blair Kinghorn and Hugh Jones making the tackle. Thomas Williams under a bit of pressure. There's a bit of afters here between George North and Blair Kinghorn. Right, Biggar. This is much better from Wales. Hawkins. Low and over the top to Liam Williams. He goes along the ground there to Finn Russell. Finn Russell backpedaling under a bit of pressure as Finn Russell. Under a lot of pressure as Finn Russell. This could be a penalty for Wales as well. Here's a penalty from Wales. That's a brilliant kick from Liam Williams. Ball always spiraling inside. It was very difficult. And by the time Finn Russell managed to get on it, he had a couple of players, Welsh players around him. Took out of his legs. And they were over very quickly. Not much the Scotland fry half could do. Now decision time here for Ken Owens. It is very kickable, so I want to imagine they'll take the 3. No, they're going to go to the corner. And I like that. It's a bit of confidence. A little bit of, you know what, we've been a bit behind the game. Let's actually try and let's go to the corner. Let's come back. Let's hit a nice set piece. Try and score a try. Try and get a lead maybe. Oh, a bit of a messy lineup, but eventually falls back. No, in fact, I think it's fallen back to Xander Ferguson, who seems to have gotten down at the bottom there with it. So it's turnover ball here for Scotland. So all of a sudden, are they ruining? Not going for the 3 points. And they find the clearance as well. That's actually good work for Scotland. Very good work. And that's the second lineup that Christian's been involved in that hasn't quite worked out. One was Skew, so not really his fault, but that's just really good work being done by Richie Gray, who's just sort of disrupting. Now Ken Owens goes to Adam Beard, much better lineup there for Wales. Beard died first. Dan Bigger looking for the cross kick. It's pretty low to Josh Adams. It bumps up, but Josh Adams looks for the chip over the top. Duan van der Merwe gets back. Right up against the touchline, Duan van der Merwe. He's right over the touchline. And he's going to be carried over as well. So it'll be a 5-meter scrum. That's really good work there from Josh Adams. Putting Duan van der Merwe under a lot of pressure. In fact, I think if Duan van der Merwe had actually looked up, he might have been able to find an offload. Yeah, really good work there. Putting a lot of pressure on Duan van der Merwe. Now, big opportunity this from Wales. If you kind of feel momentum switched a little bit. The last couple of minutes, Wales suddenly growing into the game, 20-minute mark. But the question is, or the more important thing is, they got to try and make this hit this advantage home. Keep the pressure up, yeah. Williams goes himself. He's brought down by Crosby and it's isolated. And I think it's a penalty here for obstruction. No, offside. And that kind of sums up the first 20 minutes here from Wales. Every single time they've had a reasonable bit of possession, a bit of a chance to do something. A couple of silly mistakes, kind of just creeping into their game. Dan Bigger not impressed with the decision, but the referees are calling these more and more. And Scotland wasting no time in taking their kick, getting themselves up towards the 10-meter line. Richard Corver saying, hey, good to see you. Thanks for the commentary. It's a pleasure. Which of these two teams do you think are playing the more exciting rugby this year? I think Scotland. I think Scotland play a very, sometimes high risk, high reward. But any team with like the likes of a Ben White, Stuart Hogg, Finn Russell, they're going to be an exciting team. They're going to look to try things. They're going to look to try and be exciting. And yeah, I think they're going to be a fun team to watch. Might not win a lot of games. They did beat England. And they're looking pretty good so far here today. George Turner controlling that maul pretty well. The rolling mauls are looking pretty good, Jeff, from Scotland. Interesting to see the pack. And George Turner goes himself. It's a very inexperienced Welsh pack. And maybe that inexperience showing a little bit. Finn Russell just delaying the pass to Tupolotu. And a penalty for going straight over, I think it is the call. So a penalty for Wales. Tupolotu can't believe it. Right, once again, they go to Christian. That's a much better line out there from Wales. And Piers Kumar for me has got to be offside there. But Thomas Williams does break. Finn Russell getting to George North quite early there. Now flat from Williams. Oh, and that's horrible. That's horrible. It's horrible. I think it's Ken Owens. I think it's the captain that's fumbled that forward. That's really poor. Wales at the moment looking pretty ordinary. And it's the tight head, Dylan Lewis, who's just pulled that forward. And Warren Gatlin will not be impressed right now with what he's seen from his men. It's been, yeah, I think amateur hours being quite polite, to be honest. It's been dreadful in the early stages. A couple of really basic mistakes. They look like a side like a deer in headlights, really. Got to sort it out quickly. Right, penalty for Wales though at the scrum. So that's a bit of a get out of jail free from Dylan Lewis. Xander Ferguson not particularly impressed with that call. Is a prop ever impressed with the call when they get penalised? I mean, it's never ever their fault, is it? But yeah, so penalty here, and I think Dan Bigger will ask for kicking tee here, and I reckon this will very much probably be 6 points to 3. Try and halve that deficit, get into the game. Wales have been poor, so they'll be very, very happy to be almost 25 minutes in and only 3 points behind with the way that they have played this game. Right, so Bigger's first kick of the match. And he's pulled that. He's pulled that as if to say, well, you know, we really are here to play pretty poorly. This has not been good stuff from the men from Wales so far, and that's a big moment in the game. And a very, very frustrated Warren Gatlin, you'd imagine, in that coaching box. Always looks good with Warren Gatlin, bring out the full suit. But side at the moment, yeah, not looking good at all. That's directly out in the full. That's a big mistake. And I mean, how many times, but Russell making a mistake there, kicking it out in the full, how many times does Scotland want to allow Wales the chance to try and turn this really average performance into something? They keep allowing them to come back into the game without Wales having to do anything. I mean, Wales have been poor, and yet they've had a 5-meter line out. They've had a now penalty that they've missed. And there's all coming from Scotland mistakes. Another good line up there. So, and Toz Williams breaking. And it's a big tackle on him. I think the ball's inside ball to Rio Dyer. Jack Morgan now trying to get involved. Tackle by the opposite number. Hawkins. Hit there by Xander Ferguson. Thomas Williams pops it up to Ken Owens, the captain. Now Bigger, not too many options. Pops it up to Liam Williams, puts his head down. Nice leg drive from the fullback. And slowly but surely are making a bit of progress here, are Wales. Daft Jenkins. Now it's a flat ball. Wyn Jones. On the right-hand shoulder of Dan Bigger. Slow ball now for Williams to Ken Owens as captain. Eventually brought to ground. Jamie Ritchie's gone over that. And Jamie Ritchie's going to win a penalty, actually. Well, that's really well done by the Scottish captain. Good awareness for the Lords as well. He saw the ball there, realised that there was nobody ahead of him, no ruck, and he could get his hands on it. And he does. And he wins a very important penalty for his team. And interesting one, Jamie Ritchie, the fact that didn't seem like an obvious candidate for captain. But I'll tell you what, seems to be becoming quite an inspirational character captain. You know, I think very good at making sure, you know, like is very no aggression towards the referee. You know, making sure that his team is quite sort of disciplined and stuff like that, and very much sort of heart in the sleeve type captain, kind of like leads by example. You know, which I really like a leader. So I've actually been very impressed with him as a captain. I would say John Van Merwe going to win. I mean, Scotland. Oh, Stuart Hogg, by the way, has got his jacket on. Looks like he won't be continuing. All right, that's a pretty big blow. What looked like a routine blood bin. That's a good pass there from John Van Merwe, getting him on the front foot. He's up against Josh Adams. British and Irish Lions teammates a couple of years ago. But certainly no love lost today. Gilchrist, that's a pass to nobody. And it's going to be turnover ball, in fact. That's really, really poor from Scotland. This game is deteriorating a little bit, it must be said. George North, brought down by Jones. Now Williams going to Dylan Lewis. So it's Ken Owens, actually. Now Bigger goes to the boot. Liam Williams. Hawkins around. Blair Kinghorn goes up. The ball falls down the Scottish side. And Thomas Williams there kicks it ahead. And Thomas Williams is playing footy. But we're going to go back for, I think, a penalty for offside. And Ben White and Finn Russell jogging along trying to see if there's anything on. And I reckon we'll see Finn Russell put this into touch pretty quickly. As Scotland have been looking to try and really keep the pace up. I think we all missed the Hog incident, to be honest. He just kind of walked off with blood around his mouth. So, yeah, it looked like he was getting a couple of stitches. But whatever it was, it has taken him off for the rest of the game. And big opportunity here for Scotland as Finn Russell finds touch about 13.4 meters away from the try line. So 13.4 meters out as George Turner. And the rolling balls look pretty good. So they can get it well set and get a bit of a run over here. This could be a try-scoring opportunity for Scotland. First things first, you got to try and hit your man. Looks like Grant Gilchrist is the one. No, it will not be Grant. No, will be Grant Gilchrist. Bit of a double bluff there. He brings it down. George Turner goes to receive the ball. And looks pretty well set already. He needs to try and shift along. He does shift along. Tell you what, could be penalty advantage. It is penalty advantage. Tupolotto at first receiver. Give it to Finn Russell. Finn Russell. Great pass out there. Drawn pass. Carl Steyn. Carl Steyn. He's going to be bundled into touch. They'll go back for the penalty there for bringing them all down. Great pass there from Finn Russell, must be said. On the angle there and like that. Just taking Rio Dyer out the game. Draw and pass. And it's a great tackle. It's a great cover tackle by Rio Dyer. Showing his pace there. Carl Steyn. Yeah, it's a great tackle from Dyer. And then Josh Adams as well getting across to lend his shoulder support and really hammer him out into touch. Make sure there was no chance of that try being scored. But they will go back for the penalty, and I reckon we'll see Scotland just pop it out and have another go because the running more has worked. They'll be able to get a little bit closer as well. Josh Adams has actually stayed down. Seems to be holding his ribs, which will be a big concern. Very important player for Wales is Josh Adams. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We might be having another look at you. Josh Adams has come across here, and I think there could be head-on-head contact. Yeah, so looking for a no-arms tackle there, potentially. But anyway, they have popped it out, and they are within 5 meters, 4.6. So that's actually illegal. They shouldn't be that close to the try line. So either stats are wrong, or they've gained 40 centimeters where they shouldn't have. But anyway, Big Roddy Moore, you needed Jeff from Scotland. They're working hard on Wales to try and repel it, but George Turner is controlling things. And George Turner bursts himself. Bang, goes over. Has he got grounding? Held up. How has he not scored this? How has he not scored that? If he hasn't scored, that's terrible. That's terrible if he hasn't scored this. A bit of afters there. Someone's lying on the ground. A couple of collars and sleeves being held. Do we have grounding? Surely we have grounding. If we don't have grounding, I think it's pretty poor. We are going to go upstairs, at least. I mean, he only had one person ahead of him, so I'll be very surprised if he doesn't get this down. And he's not down. It's not down. It's not down. Goodness me, that is a fantastic try-saving tackle. Ooh, is it down there? I think it is grounded, by the way. I think we will have a try here. Yeah, it is a try. George Turner is awarded. And Josh Adams still getting a bit of treatment, by the way. First try of the match, and Scotland extend their lead to 11 points to 0 at the half-hour mark over in Murrayfield. They have dominated most of the game, so it's a deserved lead. And if Finn Russell can at the extras, then they'll be sitting pretty at 13 points to nil. Which, if they're going at half time, you would think should be a good position for them to really sort of apply the pressure in the second half, apply the squeeze on a very young Welsh pack, which I think at the moment are struggling a little bit. We kind of expected them to be fair. It's difficult to just make all those changes, bring in such a young squad and still be able to match an international quality pack, which Scotland's definitely is. But yeah, and I mean, Gatland's got a couple of draw cards or ace up the sleeves and likes of Faletau coming off the bench, but not as much firepower as he probably would like to come off the bench. And Finn Russell does have the extras. So after 31 minutes, as George Turner asks the crowd to get a bit more vocal, 13 points to nil. There's a giraffe out there in Scottish colours. It's all happening out there. It's all happening out there. I don't know why it's giraffe. I've got no idea what the significance of that is. I'll say it's funny hearing State Van der Merwe during a game between Scotland. Oh, jeepers, that could be. No, that's very brave. It's one back from Wales. What a who was that? It's a brilliant take off the air. Now going down the left hand side, Joel Wales, short side, Daft Jenkins. Oh, bit of a juggle there from Liam Williams before he's driven back. Now Wales, Penrose coming up there and losing a lot of momentum here are Wales. George North. And Grace has called the game to an end here, to close here, because George North, I think, took a bit of a hit and went down. So being a bit cautious here. Caleb, remember when teams had players from their country? Not really, to be honest. There's been international players from different places for years and years and years. One of the all-time cap players for South Africa was born in Zimbabwe. So, yeah, it's quite frustrating. I mean, you got people like, Craig Cooper, for example, and there was never anything major made about his nationality. But because there are very South African names in Van der Merwe and Carl Steyn, that's a big issue. I don't really have an issue with it, to be honest. Residency rules are residency rules. World Rugby has changed it as well. I don't think it's that deep. I really don't. We're gonna have a look at this though. George North. That could be a swinging arm from George Turner. The two Georges, and you can see George North going down quite quickly. And they might have a look at this, and I think at the very, very least we are going to see a yellow card. Right, so George North steps inside. The question is, has Turner led with, is there a swinging arm to his head? And it's a high level impact. Tell you what, he could be in trouble here. He could be in very big trouble here. Investigation, though, they say is a drop in height because he does step back on the angle. It'll be a yellow card. Right. That's a big moment in the game. Yeah, so it's not swinging on, which is why it's yellow. But Scotland have been reduced down to 14 players for the rest of the half. This is a big opportunity for Wales. First of all, this is right in front of it's to the left-hand side. But Dan Bigg is saying, or Ken Ovan's rather saying, we're not taking the 3, we're going for the try. We are 13 points down. So, yeah, I mean, you sit there saying, well, there's no point taking the 3. But I tell you what, you'd be surprised how many kickable penalties you might be able to get over the course of the match. And, yeah, I think it's a fair turn. I think he does step inside. George Turner, I think, is not he is a bit high, not massively high, but yeah, just gets it wrong at the end of the day. Got no issue with that. Good take there. There's Daft Jenkins in the front of the lineout. And Tommy Riffbell has broken off, gone on himself. And Varnish are not rolling against Xander Ferguson. Now Adam Beard. Now back to Dan Bigger. Dan Bigger lifts us in the air for Josh Adams to compete with Johan van der Merwe. And the ball fall out. Blair King actually went up for it. So we'll go back for the penalty. And I'm pretty sure we're about to just see a repeat there. Just knock it into touch. Or will they take the 3 points this time? No, I think they're looking for touch as well. I think it's George North going off, by the way, for an HIA. Should have been off already, to be honest. Hi, Jennifer Creel. Hope you're well. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so as Cuthbert's onto the park, George North off for an HIA. Should have gone for an HIA anyway. I mean, they literally had to stop the game because he went down quickly, so that should have been an automatic HIA as far as I'm concerned. Right, going for the running more here are Wales. Ken Owens with the ball in hand. One stop is the call from Brace. Making a bit of progress here, but Thomas Williams will be looking to take this out already. In fact, they're still going. They're still going. Ken Owens is going to go over. Try. That looked really good. And the Welsh captain has hit back. They've really made that 14-man advantage. Well, that one-man advantage against 40-man Scotland count. As Ken Owens goes over for the first try for Wales. And they've already basically halved the deficit with the kick to come. And a really good running more there. We actually haven't seen much of that from Scotland so far this evening, but it's worked, and the try scorer is the Welsh captain. I'm gonna put a fan on because it's hot in here. That's a bit better. Right, game on. All right, Dan Bigger. And he's launched that. Looks pretty good as well. Much better kick than his first one. And it will be 13 points to 7. A 6-point advantage that Scotland currently have now. With 5 minutes to go until half time. Gatton will be a bit happy there, I think, after that. I think it was going to be quite a hot. I think it'll probably be quite a harsh team talk anyway when they get into the shed. But yeah, so the lead for now for Scotland, I think, is to just get to half time. George Turner need to get back on the park and really try and manage this period while they're down to 14 men. They've gone pretty deep from the restart, and Hawkins underneath it. So Thomas Williams still got the safety of the 22. And I think for Wales, I suppose the main thing is try and play as much as they can in Scottish territory, try and keep the ball, try and really sort of keep hammering them whilst they do have that one-man advantage. And a reminder, if you're looking to watch the game, check out the description. There's a whole guide on how you can watch this game, as well as the match tomorrow between Italy and England on a free broadcaster using ExpressVPN. I think about 5 or 6 people have already used it today. So the methods do work, and it's an easy way to watch some live rugby. Right, Jamie Ritchie's not going to take the line outs because George Turner's off. It's a pretty good one, actually, by Jamie Ritchie. Well, how many times is that to show you to practice that? Now, Crosby, Scotland in Wales territory. But a knock on, what's the call here? Is he saying it was a maul? Right, so you're going to have a word here between the two captains. I think it's for all the afters. A couple of words being said, a couple of fracases. Anyway, Brown is going to come on because it's a scrum now, so they can actually put him on. Obviously, you need a specialist hooker for when you scrum. You don't need one for when there's a line out. And Luke Crosby will be sacrificed. So Fraser Brown on in George Turner's stead. It's about 5.5 minutes left on George Turner's yellow card. and about 37 minutes on the clock. So, yeah, 3 minutes left until half time. It's been a pretty close half, pretty scrappy half. Then probably not the same sort of quality of rugby as we saw in the Ireland versus France game, but still been relatively entertaining as Danby goes down the left hand side. Josh Adams to Rio Dyer, big tackle on Rio Dyer from Carl Steyn. Wales working the towards the right hand side. Jack Morgan being brought down by his opposite number, Matt Ferguson. Now Daft Jenkins using those long legs. Bigger, not too much on, so this is high in the air. Hawkins and Cuthbert lurking. Finn Russell goes up and lands back at Wales' side, and Ken Owens comes away with it, being brought down by Tupolatu. Quick ball there for Thomas Williams to Dylan Lewis. Long pass out. Liam Williams, that's a great defensive read from Hugh Jones. Pops it up to Daft Jenkins. Pass out towards Josh Adams. Not too much on, so Josh Adams just drops onto his boot, and Finn Russell jumps onto it and launched it down the field. Liam Williams as Cuthbert and Dan Bigger all there. Forced Dan Bigger, and I think he's going to find touch here. Brings out that torpedo of his. And he will find touch just shy of the halfway line. And Scotland thinking about taking quickly and deciding against it. 100 people in the chat. People, please do smash like the video. There's 100 people watching. There's only 15 likes. It's a pretty poor ratio. Let's try and get that up. Those are rookie numbers. Let's get those numbers up. Let's try and get as many people as possible into the chat. Give me your. I'm gonna end. I meant to end the poll earlier. Give me your thoughts on final score predictions. Maybe who's going to score the next try? And a bit of a messy line of that from Scotland. Falls back in Wales, and Tommy Riffle goes to Dan Bigger. Dan Bigger now launched into the air. He's gone pretty deep, so it'll be a free contested kick from Kinghorn, who switches it to Carl Steyn, who's brought down by Ken Owens and Hawkins. Finn Russell looking for options to Finn Russell go himself. Oh, and try to bring it back inside. And it does fall to, I think it's Ferguson who's fighting really hard there. And a penalty for Wales, just getting isolated there. Scotland needs to just tighten things up a little bit. It's all got a bit scrappy. And the free-flowing Scotland we saw in the early stage of the game, just, coming a little bit loose at the moment. Just got to tighten things up a bit and get back to sort of what they were doing well in the first half. But Wales trying to sort of stem the flow a bit, changing a bit of momentum, winning a couple of penalties now. They scored a try. This is good by Finn Russell. There goes himself, not too much on, so he tried to throw it back inside. For Hugh Jones. And it's a really good kick that from Dan Bigger. So he's put Wales inside the 22 here. And Ken Owens looks like he's been in like World War IV. Right, just 15 seconds left. This will be the last player of the half. If Wales score here and convert, they'd actually go in with a lead. So big moment share. They go to Christ Junza. That's pretty good looking more as well. Ken Owens, sorry, Riffle has broken away with it. Good momentum here from Wales. Pretty direct there from Hawkins. Long ball at the top. They've got numbers here. Bigger goes short to Cuthbert. Cuthbert's just short. Oh no, it's gone straight through the hands of Rio Dyer. And that'll be the half. Well, we'll talk about Rio Dyer, who got absolutely berated by Dan Bigger earlier. I think this is actually a bit of a similar situation. I don't think this is the best pasture from Dan Bigger. Oh, no, he should have taken it. No, he should have scored. He should have scored. I'll tell you what, if Dan Bigger sees a replay of that, he won't be impressed with Rio Dyer at all. He's got to be taking that and scoring. So I think the inexperience, showing a little bit there for Rio Dyer. But that's half time. The score 13 points to 7. Scotland down to 14 men for the first 1.5 minutes of the second half. And so Scotland very much, for me, dominated about the first half an hour, but Wales doing well. So I suppose just hang on in the last 10 minutes, build a little bit of momentum, and they probably won't be too unhappy. The fact that they know they didn't play particularly well and yet aren't particularly behind the game, which is the main thing. Anyway, we'll be back after half time. Go and get some beers. It's a Saturday night, 7:30. Get yourself some beverages, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. Right, we are back and we are live for the second half. Scotland versus Wales. Scotland leading 13 points to 7 in the second clash of the second round of the 2023 Guinness Six Nations. And we saw Ireland beating France quite comprehensively, which means that Scotland were to win with a bonus point, for example. They put themselves right up there with Ireland on the top of that Six Nations log. But they are down to 14 men. And as a result, we can see the try, and Wales are sort of back into it. So very much still lots to play for at the moment, and very interested to see what the message was from Warren Gatland. Suicide half time. Very interested to see what the sort of the responses from sort of both teams as we go into this second half. Dan Big again back underway. Wales playing right to left, Scotland left to right. Scotland receiving the kickoff, and they put the trophy in the middle of what was happening. We actually missed that. Ben White, though, has done a horrendous pass out to Carl Steyn, who's having to do a bit of cleaning up here, and not a good start for the scrum half. But anyway, they have managed to retain possession, and Ben White will be able to bring this back and find the clearance that he was trying to find earlier. And he does find touch as well. So not the worst kickoff, not the best from Scotland, but more to the point, they found touch. And Wales will start with an early set piece. Going to some of the comments. Welcome, Andrew from Italy, if you're still around. So I said, I believe England are going to win the World Cup next year. Well, it's this year, so they're winning it next year. Then they're a year late. Staying force from South Africa, our South African born. Spice says, too many players use their ancestors for an excuse to play for another country. Again, I've really got no issue with it, to be perfectly honest. I really don't. At the end of the day, if you want to play for another country, if you want to play, you just play what you want to play, to be honest. I think it becomes trivial. You start deciding, well, who gets to play, who doesn't get to play. I mean, there are some people who just don't, resonate with whatever country they might be born in, with the country they're living in, or whatever. But anyway, we are dying now off the back of that Welsh line up there. Quick ball from Thomas Williams to Dan Bigger. A couple of men out wide. So goes over the top to Josh Adams. Steps inside. Good tackle being made there from Blair Kinghorn, who we've seen on that wing quite often. Now puts his head down. Does Crash Chunza. Williams to Williams, we're down the short side here. Joe Hawkins with space, runs into Finn Russell. Good tackle there from the fly half. Ball available here from Wales. And this will be the final piece of play before we will get George Turner back on the park, who got a yellow card for a high tackle on George North, who did go for an HIA. Trying to sort of work out if he's managed to come back out. And trying to see if we do see Alex Cuthbert around there. Tommy Raffel gets a bit of a run going into 22. And a bit of a snipe here from Thomas Williams. Getting further than 22. Good stuff there. Really good start here. Penalty, however, for Scotland. And all the good work being undone. Now we can remove that yellow card because George Turner should be returning to the field. And that will make it 15 on 15. Numbers are even. I'm trying to work out if George North is lurking. I'll work out what that was for, actually. I think from the side potentially. Yeah, so here comes George Turner, as well as Luke Crosby, who was sacrificed to bring on Fraser Brown. So Fraser Brown will depart the field, and George Turner and Luke Crosby will come in. And the kick from Finn Russell has found its way just inside Welsh territory again of 35 meters, according to the stats. And fun fact, by the way, if Scotland were to win, this would be the first time that Warren Gatland has ever lost to Scotland. So a pretty big record he would like to not change tonight. Now, bit of a messy line there from George Turner. The ball does fall back to him, and Scotland do retain possession. Ben White going to Crosby, who's just come on as well. Nice and fresh legs there for Scotland. Now Ben White's taking his time. He's going to lift this high in the air. Yep, and you've got Carl Steyn chasing it, Richie chasing it as well. But it's easy take there for Dye. He's then hit hard by Matt Ferguson. Big counter coming in from Scotland. Bit of pressure of Thomas Williams, who pops it up to Jack Morgan. It looks like a high tackle there from Pierce Scrimmage. It is a high tackle. Will be a penalty for Wales. So Scotland disciplined, and Matt Ferguson stayed down. That's not a good look, and he's a very important player to Scotland. So they'll hope that this isn't too serious. But he is taking quite a long time to get back up. So worrying signs early on there for Scotland, because I said he's pretty an integral part of the side. Yeah, and Pierce Scrimmage is just a bit lazy, to be honest, going very high there against Jack Morgan. A pretty easy decision in the end for the referee to make. like Crosby has just come on, is now going to go off again. Not quite sure what happened there. Keno's not particularly impressed. And Scotland are breaking. Now Hugh Jones to Blair Kinghorn. Blair Kinghorn's breaking on the afterburners. Look at this. Look, Strides, the new Bulls player from next season, by the way. Fun fact. Now back to... I lie. It's Edelman that's going there. I was thinking of the Edinburgh guys. Ball at the top, and Finn Russell is charged down. Tupolotu. Yeah, short ball there to Pierce Kuhlman. Finn Russell's not too much on, so he just sort of hacks it downfield. Is he within his own half? Could this be a 50-22? I think it is, you know. I think it is. And if it is, that is absolutely brilliant from Finn Russell. Goodness me. That's terrific. That's absolutely terrific. Not much on, so he sees a bit of space in behind. He hammers it in. It's getting a bit of a, I think so, Dylan Lewis getting a bit of treatment here. Yeah, what a 52. I mean, that's brilliant for Finn Russell. Literally, when there's nothing on, and you just find a bit of, you see a bit of space, he's launched it from pretty much the center point of the halfway mark, and he's put his side inside 22 with a line out. That is fantastic work from Finn Russell. Goodness me. Good line out there as well. George Turner controlling things in the back. Oh, that's a great carry as well. George Turner's gotten up. Oh, the ball's coming to the side. And Rio Dyer's been held up as he dropped that. A couple of great phases there from Scotland. Before, as George Turner was pretty much over the line, the ball was just squaring them down the side. And turnover ball, Adam Beard brought down to ground there. Now back to the pocket is Dan Bigger. And Wales will get away with that one. He hasn't exited the 22, so still big opportunity. Oh, penalty here for a high tackle, I think is the call. So Wales will have a free exit. And this is so close here. I'll tell you what, I would almost want to have a look at that. And Jeep is so close. And that is just George North, by the way, that jumps on it. So he is back on the park. Yeah, penalty to Wales for that around the neck on Adam Beard. Right, so Wales hop between the 20 and the 22. They go to Christchunza. Can't show you any match footage at Din Thomas because that is illegal. But if you want to watch the game, check out the description. There's a full guide there on how you can watch the free broadcaster using ExpressVPN. It's very easy. You literally get ExpressVPN. Great take from Carl Steyn as he gets up to the halfway line. Really good work there from the wing. Download ExpressVPN, connect to a UK server, go to the link in the description, and you'll be able to watch the game. It's literally that. You want it past. What an off play that is. Now Joe van der Merwe with open space ahead of him. He's going to get away from George North and away from Thomas Williams. He's going to go all the way. Comes inside. Questions and makes a fantastic tackle. Great athleticism there from the number 6. The quick ball here. Inside, outside goes Matt Ferguson. Scotland on the 5-meter line. What a run that was from Joe van der Merwe, trying to emulate his emphatic try from last week. Now a cross kick from Finn Russell. Cast there 1-on-1 against Rio Dyer. Rio Dyer up for the challenge. Jamie Ritchie is captain there to assist. And eventually, Xander Ferguson arriving and Ben White, who they've got advantage as well for penalty. Does take it himself. It'll be a pick up and go here from Jamie Ritchie, I reckon. Or he's going to pop it up. No, he's going to go straight to Finn Russell. Finn Russell going to Tupolotu. Tupolotu, long ball out there to Blair Kinghorn. Blair Kinghorn is straightened. What a tackle that is. But he pops it up to Tupolotu. Tupolotu trying to get up to the 5-meter line. His knees on the ground. He's going to have to release. Another advantage here for Scotland. Really slow ball here. Doing front of Merva. Pick up and go. And he lost the ball. We're going to go back for the penalty. What a run that was. Great piece of handling there as well. I think it was Hugh Jones who might have had that sort of almost around the back offload. Fantastic hands. This over here. That is a phenomenal offload. Really is. And what athleticism here from Christ Shunzu managed to get it there and make the tackle. Liam Williams was there. And there's a decent cross kick from Finn Russell. Maybe a bit high, which is sort of hung in the air for quite a long time. Good line out there from Scotland, who went to the corner. And double blow here. Wales good to come on the side. So it'll be another penalty here for Scotland. Decision time here, really. Right, there's a warning. So no yellow card, but very much on the cards potentially for Wales. And once again, going to the corner here, Scotland really trying to sort of get the first points of the second half and try and put the pressure on Wales. And Wales very much on the last warning here. So any other mistakes, and they could find themselves down to 14 men. And it looked like a good promising anymore, but it has not gone down. No advantage though, so cleanly defended here is the call. Ben White goes to Per Skuman. Quick defense up there from Wales by Ken Owens and Adam Beard. Now, almost looked a little bit offside there. Wales need to be a bit careful here. Tommy Redfell playing with that line. And Ferguson, good support there from his captain to get extra meter. Now Finn Russell calling on the short side. Finn Russell going himself. Finn Russell. Oh, Finn Russell. Let him cook. Let him cook. Kyle Stainer's over. Finn Russell taking the ball to the line, getting his hands free, and just popping into Kyle Stainer. He probably could have gone himself, to be honest. Very much the unselfish decision there from Finn Russell. But what a touch. Deft, very deft. And that's Finn Russell at his best. Taking the ball on the line, attacking the line, getting himself in between the... See, bang, bang, bang. Gets himself there, bang. What a touch of magic from Finn Russell. That is absolutely brilliant. That's fantastic. That really is good. That is Finn Russell at his best. That's what he can do. Things like that. Those sort of small moments, things like that, where... You know, is a chance, as a half a chance, and he'll make it a try scoring opportunity. And Scotland move up to 18 points with a kick to come. Finn Russell looking to try and convert after that try assist to make it 20 points to 7. And Scotland firmly in the driving seat now after a good start to the second half. Yeah, the last couple of minutes have been pretty dominant. A pretty looking kick from Finn Russell as well. It does go over. 20 points to 7. Right, so Scotland looking pretty good. And well applauded there from that Scotland coaching box. Gregor Townsend pretty unmoved. And Gregor Townsend, some people thought was a bit under pressure after the Autumn Nations series performances, but if they can start the Six Nations with back-to-back wins, and they'll go a long way towards getting a bit of confidence into the Scottish side. Matt Ferguson from the kickoff, good work from him as well. Talapa Fairtow's on the block. Trying to work out who it is for. Jack Morgan is the obvious candidate. Or got that wrong there, did Liam Williams. Plenty of time. Dan Bigger. So Wyn Jones is off. Reese Kerr on. Take this from Zanders and Jack Morgan off, and Fairtow as well. One of the great number 8s, Talapa Fairtow. And let that bounce there. Oh, bit of takers there from Rio Dyer. Now deciding he wants to go pretty direct. Good tackle being made by Tupolotu. He does well to roll away. Thomas Williams. And a fighting carry from the replacement Loosehead and Reese Kerr. But a bit of pressure being applied here from Scotland and Wales. And Liam Williams sees a half a gap, which is quickly closed down by Ferguson and Zander. Now Ken Owens popping up to Daft Jenkins, bringing in Crash Chunza. He comes inside. Tupolotu wrapping him up. Better yet from Wales. Just inside Scotland territory. Back to Fairtow. Fairtow goes himself. But he's isolated. Jamie Richards over quickly. But he's missed it. Thomas Williams now going to Dan Bigger. Dan Bigger, a little chip over the top. I'll tell you what, that is fantastic work by George Turner. Goodness me. He read that so quickly that the hooker turned around, got himself in position, read it like a book. That's a brilliant intervention from the front rower. Now, bit of space there. Hugh Jones, long pass out wide, Duan van der Merwe up against Josh Adams. Comes inside as Duan van der Merwe. Gets away from one. He's eventually brought down by Josh Adams, who is a very good defensive wing. Ben White to Gilchrist, to Finn Russell. Not too much on, so Finn Russell just hammers it towards that right-hand side. And the whistle does go, and I think it's against Josh Adams. I think it was a penalty. 14 red is the call. Offside. I think a bit of frustration keeping into the Welsh team at the moment. You can see not happy with what's going on here. Not winning the small battles. Not being able to really create anything as well at the moment. So getting very frustrated here are the Welsh. Fantastic read that earlier on by George Turner. Been a long, I mean, jeepers. It's been a while. We wouldn't have expected that from hookers a couple of, 5-6 years ago. Big hit from George Turner. Ken Owens, hooker on hooker. And Scotland find themselves just outside the 22. Another opportunity to try and get into the 22 and try and find some points. So they do find the next points, and I think it becomes a long way for Wales. 13 points at the moment. 2 converted tries get you ahead, but a penalty, another try, and all of a sudden with more than 2 converted tries. Good line out there. Options there. Duan van der Merwe. He's got Finn Russell in around as well. Duan van der Merwe is going to go all the way up to the 5-meter line, taking a lot of Welsh players with them. Ben White, quick ball. Goes to Zander Ferguson. Good carry as well. 5 meters out here are Scotland. Ben White going to Finn Russell. Quick defense, and he's caught on the ball. They'll be able to recycle it. Ben White looking at his options there. Sniping goes himself. Brought down by Adam Beard. Liam Williams has gone over that ball, and they've conceded a penalty, and it's going to be a yellow card here for Wales as well. That's just a build-up, isn't it? And Wales will be reduced to 40 men. I think Liam Williams is the man who's going to go into the bin, and he's just guilty of making the final foul. Really, it's a bit of a team card there. It was creeping in. They did have a warning, so it was going to be inevitable at the end of the day. Liam Williams in the bin. Scotland kicking to the corner. And this is them really looking to try and put the squeeze on Wales. You score a try now, and with 24 minutes to go, you'll have at least an 18-point lead, and you'll think that must be enough. Matthew Dixon said, I think Scotland might win this one. Well, all signs point towards them doing it. If they don't do it, it'll be a bit of a throwaway, wouldn't it? Right. Good line needs here from George Turner. Chat Sports says, wait to the last 15 minutes for Scotland, lose or win for them in the last 15. Well, here comes a couple of replacements here for Wales. Thomas Williams is off, and Reece Webb is on. I like Reece Webb, actually. And then Dan Bigger's off, and Reece Patchell's on. So let's see how he gets along on that in that number 10 channel now. Quick lineup being taken there from George Turner there. And had a bit of a run as the ball is looking pretty good. One stop is the call. I think George Turner's going to have to break down the right-hand side here. They're calling to use it, so Ben White will use it. He goes to Finn Russell. Here comes the cross kick. Carl Steyn is unmarked. Carl Steyn's going to go in for a brace. He's over. He's over. And that's just the space. No Liam Williams, which means they know they're a man down. First thing Finn Russell did was ping in the cross kick. Carl Steyn, all you have to do is gather and go over. Scotland have hit again. And 25 points to 7 with the conversion to come. They're now actually one try away from a bonus point win, which we did speak about earlier in the second half when we did restart that could be on the cards here. Second try there from Carl Steyn. Second try assist from Finn Russell. So a bit of a duo jumping in there. Those two sort of working quite well in tandem. But yeah, Finn Russell is showing all the tricks over here. I mean, we've seen the out the back door pass. Now we're seeing the cross kick coming in. I mean, it's Finn Russell at his best, isn't it? I mean, yes, that's so pinpoint. Yeah, Finn Russell is, yeah, when he cooks, he cooks. Right, first making a mistake there, Finn Russell, as he pulls that. Right, 2 tries there. So we saw Doom van der Merwe last week, and now Carl Steyn getting in on the action.
Tackle! No, 7!
25 points to 7. 21 minutes to go. Scotland in the driving seat, but still 20 minutes to go. Plenty of time for a potential comeback. The only reason I'm not really backing is I don't think Wales have really looked like mounting a comeback here. Anyway, trying to get back and back. Patchell to the high in the air. George Turner goes off. A good match from him despite that yellow card. And Ben White on. George Horn on for him. And we've also got Fraser Brown back on in place of George Turner. Now Doom van der Merwe. He loves to drift inside. Finn Russell hammers it downfield. And a bit of a juggle there from Patchell. Eventually does get to the boot. And Finn Russell taking it on the charge. Chip over the top there. Cuthbert now will return the favour. And he will find touch. It's a very good touch finder as well. So it'll be a Scotland line out. He's gained 40 metres and he's pinned Scotland back on their own 10 metres. So it's a good line out position for Wales Guterres gain. Yeah, it's actually close to the halfway line. Now, pretty direct there from Matt Ferguson, as you kind of imagine with the big number 8. Now, seeing a bit of space down the left-hand side here. Kinghorn is brought in Doom van der Merwe. Doom van der Merwe inside, looking for an offload. Runs into Cuthbert. We're going to go all the way back. The whistle has gone.
15, 20 meters, spirals, but it
Yeah, offside is the call as Jamie Ritchie puts his hand up and apologizes to his teammates. And Patchell will find touch just outside the 22. Long day, long day. Please just smash like on the video, by the way. Let's try and get as many people into the stream as possible. We've got just over 100 people watching. Let's see if we can get up to 120, maybe up to 30 people watching. Let's get those likes up to about 50 people. Come on, don't be that person. Don't be a lurker. Come join in the chat. Give me a like. Falatar carrying up there. Offload to Reese Webb. Back to Ken Owens, who's been pretty hard-working today. Reese Webb going to Christ Chunza, who's worked hard. It's a nice late drive from the youngster as well. Very exciting player. Reese Webb, a bit of a slow ball there. Going to George North. Been a very quiet half so far from North. Patchell, not too many options, so he's going to go himself. He does manage to get the offload away to Adam Beard. Now Cuthbert. Making a bit of progress here, Wales. Going to their 7th phase now. Talapa Falatau. 9th phase now. Patchell. Flat Dylan Lewis. George North trying to get on the outside of Horn. As they go into their 11th phase here, Wales. Really good ball possession, but so far good defense as well from Scotland, must be said. Lewis, good tackle being made on him by Ritchie and Pierce Skuman. Now he's down the south side. Oh, it's almost a gap there for Reese Kerr. Now Talapa Falatau, they're within 5 meters. This is fantastic ball retention. Cuthbert driven laterally. Then Ritchie over that ball. And it's a penalty for Wales. Who looks absolutely dead in his feet. The Scottish captain. Chance here for Wales now. And they're going to try and score quite quickly. 17 minutes left on the clock. And currently a 16-point game. Oh, it's an 18-point game. Quick maths. So Scotland have had 4.4 points per visit to 22. Wales just 0.8. And that's the difference, isn't it? Scotland have been there 5 times and Wales have been 9 times. So Wales have almost been to 22 twice as many times as Scotland and yet have 18 points fewer. Tough times, eh? Tough times. But it's been a good Scottish performance. Will Townsend is not the most emotional of men, but I think he can be very chuffed with what he's seeing out there tonight. Right, check out the new front row. A couple of patients as Dan Ferguson, Pierce Skuman, Grant Gilchrist all leaving the park, which means we will see Jamie Batty, Via Piernell, and Johnny Gray. Also, 2 new front rows. That's Scott Baldwin and Leon Brown take the pitch for Wales. Lots of subs here. I think that Rhys Davies and Jack Dempsey might be the only 2 players in Via Piernell potentially that Via Piernell's just come on as well. That looks like Jack Dempsey's come on as well. Yeah, Dempsey is on. So it looks like all the benches have been unloaded. Right, so scrum here for Wales. New front row, so already back in their set piece. Trying to get a bit of a platform and try and go over. Got to try and make a bit of a late charge. Scott and Maniel should be high in the bonus point. They really should be. Pretty solid scrum there. Reese Webb going down. Or Thurl going down short side. Goes to Patchell. And Hawkins has gone to... it wasn't a great carry from Hawkins. It didn't look like there was much planned there. Reese Webb now going to... it's Cuthbert. Now Fatal. It's a really good... Oh, that's a fantastic intervention there from Matt Ferguson. Reese Kerr was through. And Ferguson just managed to just lodge the ball. Turnover ball as well. And Finn Russell will clear. What an intervention that is from Matt Ferguson. That was a try time. Reese Kerr, his eyes lit up. He thought he was over. You could see, like, the smile on his face. He thought, oh, here we go. I'm through. I'm going to be the try scorer here. And how has he done this? Yeah, it's just lodged the ball. I mean, Reese Kerr is literally through. Nobody ahead of him. He has to score. And Matt Ferguson has just managed to just lodge the ball. Turnover ball. Finn Russell's pumped it down. Now it's a bit of... I thought we were supposed to get rid of this stuff. Yeah, having a bit of a conference before the line. Reese Davies now. Number 19 on for Wales. Good line out, but it's pretty stagnant more. And there's Reese Davies on debut, by the way. 24-year-old lock plays his rugby for Ospreys. Walls eventually got down about 10 meters short. And it's a turnover ball. That's really good defense from Scotland. And that's the thing, you know, they've won the small battles when they counted, really. And Wales, it's another trip into the 22, by the way. That's no more points for them. And that conversion rate, it's a little about like the Boxer times, where they've been in the 22 plenty of times, but haven't really been able to find points. So, yeah, it's an annoying for Warren Gatland's men. And I struggle to see too many positives out of this, to be honest. I don't think there's been too many sort of facets where they've really been like, yeah, cool, it's been good, that's been fine. You know, I do think that they haven't dominated too many areas, and I don't think there's too many places where they'd be really happy with. But yeah, 30 minutes to go. Dylan saying, come on, Scotland. Chat Sports saying it's a good thing it's 25-7. Scotland drop off the back end of games, as we can see now. The Wales team look flat. Well, let's see. Scotland are looking for a bonus point win, yeah? Oh, bless me. Jack Dempsey at the back of the scrum there as Scotland win the penalty. So Matt Ferguson chipped it out to the flag for that one. Jay Batty. Get the one over Leon Brown. So Finn Russell will be able to get Scotland further up the pitch. Stuart Hogg, yeah, seems to have some stitches on the bottom of his lip there, and that's why he hasn't come on. So hopefully that should be something that can. I mean, it's got 2 weeks to sort that out, so he should be back for Scotland. Shouldn't be anything too long term. Probably won't play next week for Exeter. Penalty advantage as well. Horn going to Finn Russell. Finn Russell throwing a long pass out and just actually I don't think it was supposed to go to Jones, but it does end up at Jones. Jones is still going as Jones. Now it comes off Liam Williams and will go back for the penalty. Right, here we go. Brown. It's a good line take as well. Looks like a pretty well set maul, but it's a good kind of shove there from Wales. Scotland Moore's looked really good tonight, and it's another looking good. But now he needs to try and get that ball out, because all of a sudden a bunch of Wales players have jumped all over him, and I think this could potentially be turnover ball unless they can get that ball available. Yeah, that's good work there from Scotland. Dempsey now back on the angle. Oh, the handling and the chip over the top. This is getting ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous. The pass back inside to Blair Kinghorn. That is champagne rugby from Scotland. Goodness me. They are playing scintillating rugby. What a try that is. What a try that is. Duan van der Merwe, Finn Russell, Tupolotu, and then Kinghorn finishing it. I mean, what? The offload there from Tupolotu. Little chip from Finn Russell. Inside ball from Duan van der Merwe to Blair Kinghorn. And that is the bonus point for Scotland. That is the win, 30 points to 7. No chance of dropping off. They're only getting better here. Don't know if you're saying, husband Canada, I hope you well, Jan. I mean, look at this, the offload there. The little chip ahead kick. Yeah, when it's coming off his line. In mid-side ball. That's just fantastic, isn't it? And Wales back to full contingent, by the way, because that was Liam Williams who is on. And so no excuses either, really. They're just being outplayed here. And this is becoming a bit of a thrashing. Warren Gatland, could he be going out? Maybe that could be trending. You know, Warren Gatland out. Well, he's missed the conversion. What a try that is, though. Fantastic rugby. "143 tackles made by Scotland, 8 missed, 114 tackles made by Wales, and 25 missed. That is ridiculous. They're basically missing 1 in 5 tackles. Cannot win rugby games like that. Cannot win rugby games like that. Yeah, when it comes down to the work-ons, I think it's pretty easy to find what went wrong. Jan says, cheering for Scotland. I want them to finish above England in the Six Nations. Chat Sports saying that's class, great to watch. Maybe they have been working on game management. Well, yeah, they're managing this down to a T. And that's a good angle being run there. Quick ball there from Reece Webb. It's a good carry there from Faletau. Do Wales yet have a bit of a comeback in them? Probably not be able to win the match. Maybe just give themselves a couple of consolation tries, make the scoreline look a little bit prettier, and maybe give them a bit of confidence as Patchell goes himself. Going on the short side here. Brown just short. Need to watch the offsides here to Scotland. But so far, discipline's been good. Backwards the call there from Reece Webb, a little bit of a fumble. Eric says, hi, all. This may be the Scots' first back-to-back win in the contest. The competition. I don't know. Actually, I couldn't actually tell you. Couldn't tell you if it is, if it isn't, what the situation is there. And he's almost over here, is Reece Kerr. The question is there grounding? I don't think there is. Yeah, both benches have been emptied. And held up over the line is the court, so it'll be a goal line dropout. And yeah, once again, another Welsh visit to the 22 that goes unrewarded. Deep restart there from Russell, finding a bit of space there. And turnover once again. Finn Russell. Oh, that's another great pass from him. Chris Harris onto the park. So I lied. Now all the subs are all on. Play King on. John van der Merwe comes back inside. Scotland not happy with the 4 tries. They want a 5th. They want a 5th. Good at ball there to Johnny Gray. Horn going to Finn Russell. Going himself and looks to get the out the back raw pass. Hasn't quite worked out because Harris, however, has come away with it. Wrapped up by George North. Now Jack Dempsey getting on the action, getting a couple of meters there. Horn could ball it to Richie. Out the back door to Carl Steyn. Carl Steyn's got looking for a hat trick. It's eventually brought down. Richie coming in at scrum off. It's not a great, that's a very much a flanker filling in scrum off type pass. And Hugh Jones is just running a bit laterally, and there's actually space out there if they want to use it. Then he brings in, it's gone straight through the hands of Ben Kinghorn. Backwards is the call, so Dion van der Merwe is going to have to try and get them back on the front foot. Doesn't do it terribly either. They've lost a lot of momentum though, Scotland. Sort of messing around really, but they've got a penalty, so they'll take it. They'll take it. They can kick to the corner, run the clock down. Right, in terms of picking a player of the match, there he is, and I think it's about to come on the screen, surely. My name's Dotty, player of the match, Finn Russell. Let him cook. Let him cook, boys. You gotta let him cook. Horn, nice little variation from the line there from Scotland, and they're about 10 meters out. There we go. First time since 1996 they won the first opening 2 matches in the Six Nations. And another penalty here. We could see another yellow card here from Wales, by the way. I think they need to be quite careful. I assume the captain currently is Adam Beard. Or I suppose Bigger, actually. I don't know who's the vice captain of Wales. Is it Bigger? Who's he talking to? Yeah, it is Adam Beard. Yeah, captain loves a forward as a captain. Reese Kerr getting the warning there. I think, yeah, once again, it's just a combination of several infringements. Good line up there. Big Roddy Moore here, not making too much progress. It's eventually gone down, but they've kept possession. Now Richie, we're 5 meters out here, Scotland. Horn going down the side. Finn Russell. Is that another one? That's 3 try assists, chaps. 3 try assists, as well as playing a major part in that. He's played a part in 4 tries. It's just it's childish. This might be one of the fly half masterclasses of our time. I mean, this is emphatic. It's the only way to describe it. It's emphatic. This is one of the best I've ever seen Scotland play. And Finn Russell has been at the center of almost everything that's been good. The second half, Finn Russell has been unbelievable. Like that. Just takes a moment. See, takes a moment, goes, hang on. Joel's in the one player, throws the ball over the top to Ferguson, straight over. I mean, it's just too easy. Too easy. This is a hell of a performance, though. Yeah, I'm saying for me, Finn Russell's the best 10 in world rugby at the moment. When he's playing like this, it's hard to argue, isn't it? It is hard to argue when he's playing like this. Goodness me, he's been good. Can he add to his personal tally for the match with 30 seconds to go? Make it 37-7, a 30-point drubbing. Warren Gatton will be under a lot of fire now. And no, he won't. He'll hook that. So with 20 seconds left, Scotland 35 points to 7 against Wales, who have been pretty hopeless, it must be said. Yeah, not too much emotion from Gregor Townsend. There never really is there? And 80 minutes. Blair Kinghorn, the ball's fallen flat. Penalty, so knock-on advantage. Wales continue playing. Faletau gives it to Hawkins. This will be the final play. It's a good pass to Chunzo. He's played a full game, by the way. Patchell, Rio Dyer coming in. That's a really good run from Rio Dyer. Yeah, Wales still trying. Not too much on here. Going to the 6th phase here. Cross Chunza. Scotland desperately defending. They want that points difference. They want that big win. And it will be a penalty. And Chris Harris just, found the one of the right. Take it quickly. I do Wales, though. You got Adam Beard over the top. Cuthbert. We're almost 2 minutes into extra time here. Reece Kerr off the back to Leon Brown. Reece Webb. Going himself in the end. And a penalty to Scotland. That will be it. People, thank you very much for joining us. What an emphatic match that is. And Scotland can be very proud of that performance. The Scots will celebrate. Wales will be very worried, in fact, about things at the moment. Final score, 35 points to 7. There's still a little bit of afters going on. I think they've taken it quickly here as Horn. And it's another penalty. Chaps, just kick it out. Has a yellow card just for good measure. What a match. People, please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Picked up a couple of newbies, which is really cool to see. We'll be live again, hopefully tomorrow, for the S20 final, as well as England versus Italy. What a day of Six Nations rugby it has been. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys all.